Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Virtual Cheese Awards 2023, where we get the best of British cheeses. I am Gautam Krishna, and I'll be moderating this session. Today, we will be judging the cheeses, Lancashire cheeses. And I'd like to welcome our amazing, highly qualified judges, Hero Hirsch, Richard Newell, and we have Sarah Dewitt, the founder of the Virtual Cheese Awards. Judges, if I can give you to introduce yourself. Hero?
Sure. So I'm Hero Hirsch. I'm the head of retail at Paxton and Whitfield. Paxton and Whitfield is the UK's oldest cheesemonger, having run for 226 years. I've been there just a fraction of 14 years. Very excited about trying some amazing cheeses today.
Richard?
And I'm Richard Newell. I've worked in British cheesemaking now for just slightly over 40 years. Started when I was 7. But have quite a diverse experience in product development, operations, engineering, technical, and really enjoying the judging today.
Great. Do you want to introduce yourself, Sarah?
So I'm Sarah DeWitt. It's my fault that we're doing this today. It all started in 2020 when the Cheese Awards were all cancelled, and I decided that we would set this up. So I'm really excited to see that we're continuing with our mission of making judging open, honest, and transparent. So all the entrants can actually see their cheeses being judged on the video and then also on the live event. So looking forward to seeing what's happening today.
Brilliant. So the judges will use a point system where they will be scoring the different attributes of cheese, a score, and at the end, the cheese with the highest score wins and moves towards the best category stage. So judges, if you're ready with your first cheese, which would be B21103.
Do you want to start off with the appearance, Richard?
Yeah, so we're looking at a traditional Lancashire here, cut from around. We'd be wanting a cheese that's bright, white, assuming that it's an acid Lancs, of course. And yeah, it has a good sort of tweedy milled texture, nice close texture. And for me, that would be yeah, very acceptable for a crumbly Lancashire.
Yeah, no, I would agree entirely. I think that's exactly what I'd like to see, or what I expect to see with the Lancashire. That sort of, you can see it's got quite a hewn texture as well. So I think that's kind of building an expectation of what's to come. What would you go for that? Sort of an 8, 9?
Yeah, bang on. An 8 would work for me. That's super. Yeah.
Yeah.
An 8, brilliant. So how is it looking in terms of aroma?
So aroma, there's almost, I don't want to say it smells sweet because that's, you know, something you experience when you taste a cheese, but there is a sort of,
it's almost a caramel.
Yeah, some caramel or fruit about it, isn't there?
Yeah. It's actually very pleasant. I've never smelt this in a crumbly Lancashire, but it's almost like a bonfire.
It's pleasant, but it's not what I expected, I think, for this style of cheese. There's a lot more, caramel and fruit than I would expect for this.
Yeah, lots of character though. I actually like it.
Okay, so we're going to go relatively high for aroma, I think. Maybe another 8, 9-ish?
Yep, exactly that.
What would you
8
go?
for me.
8, yeah, I'm happy with that.
8. Brilliant. Moving on to the texture.
Yeah, okay. That's you can see, if the viewers can see, that's a proper traditional Lancashire body and texture. That's exactly what we almost call it a birdseed texture. And for me, we're getting exactly that.
Yeah, it's got that sort of like
bang on the money.
Shortbread, that kind of texture, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to try eating it as well ahead of the game.
Yeah, we should do mouth texture. I think texture wise, if we're giving that a mark before we move on to flavour,
Yep.
Yep.
I think that's very pleasant actually.
Yep, I'm a 9 here. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to see it get a 9.
9, brilliant.
Moving on to flavour.
Flavor.
That those sweet caramelly fruity notes we picked up on the aroma are there.
It's actually aged, isn't it? I'm wondering if it's a tasty Lancashire rather than an acid Lancashire. Some bags of rounded flavour.
For me, it's a little sweeter than I might expect for a Lancashire. I don't know if how that ties in with your experience of this cheese, but I'm
Almost heading to be a little bit all these descriptors, but brothy, almost like a slightly meaty, savoury flavour. For me personally, it works. But I would definitely say it's a tasty Lancashire, not a crumbly like we first thought it might be.
Great. How are we looking in terms of score?
I'm struggling a little bit with this because whilst I'm enjoying it, I'm not sure it's what I expect of this style.
Yes. Okay.
But it is very pleasant, so I wouldn't want to see it, you know.
I think if we were a consumer, would we have bought that again?
I think so, but if I was a consumer buying Lancashire, I might think it was not what I was expecting.
That's a fair point. Of course, the Lancashire's a diverse term because there's the acid crumbly, which is 5 or 6 days old, and then you go right up to the 11-month spectrum on the tasty.
Yeah, and this is
So
definitely in the age bracket, isn't it?
Yeah. So for me, it's there. It's where it ought to be. It's my personal view.
I would be, I guess, marking this around an 8.
Yep.
And I'm restraining on a 9 because even though it's very pleasant, it's just not quite what I was expecting.
And I go with an 8 purely because I think I have tasted very slightly better, but it's very pleasant. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've eaten 3 pieces while we've been talking.
Right.
Pace yourself today.
Making me very envious. This cheese sounds pretty good, actually.
It's
I'm very happy to see it get an 8.
Yes, it's a shame the moderator doesn't get to eat any.
it's one I'll be keeping in the fridge at the end of the judging.
Great. Oh, when you're ready, we can move on to the next one.
Okay, just one moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next cheese would be B21211.
Okay, so appearance wise, we have a nice marbling to this Lancashire. It has a thin rind. It's clearly had some sort of cloth which has been removed.
Yes.
But it does have a nice thin sort of natural rind. To me, it looks like a very nicely made piece of cheese. I think the marbling is beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely in the cloth, like you said, and I think it's been clothed and then put into a bag because it's actually got some age to it, and some you can see where the rind has the thickening of the rind.
Yeah.
But it's got no mold or anything on the surface, so it's been protected from the atmosphere, which actually helps to stop it dry. Doesn't always suit the purists, but yeah, like you say, very nice.
I mean, appearance wise, I'm thinking pretty high. I'm thinking a 9.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fine. Yep.
For appearance.
Lovely. Aroma.
Quite lactic.
It is, yeah.
I'm not getting a huge amount of character, to be honest. There, it's pleasant, lactic, but it doesn't define itself with any particular attribute.
It is. It's not sort of. You have to get quite close to it, don't you?
Yes.
But it's pleasant. There's some nice.
6, sort of a 6-ish.
Yes, I'd
6,
be,
7.
yeah, a 6 or a 7, I think is. You choose, Richard.
So I think we'll. These cheese, they're not defined by high aroma. We'll
Yeah.
probably go with a 7. Let's give it the benefit.
We go with the 7. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Moving on to the texture.
A little bit.
Okay, so I would say it's not
Isn't
an
it?
acid crumbly hero.
Yeah, it's holding together.
Yeah, and can you feel that when you break it down, we can feel that bird seed, almost like a lumpiness.
Mm-hmm.
If without actually knowing anything more than it being a Lancashire, I would say this is a creamy Lancashire, which is typically eaten up to sort of 3 months of age, perhaps a little older.
Texture-wise, yeah, it's got a little bit more sort of elasticity.
Yep.
So how we are looking at scores, the texture.
It's for a creamy, it's an 8 out on texture.
I'm very happy to see it gets an 8.
An 8. Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead and eating already.
Flavor-wise, we've got a lot of sort of yogurty, creme fraiche kind of. You definitely get a lot more milkiness. I know we shouldn't be comparing the two, but there is a lot of milkiness and sort of fresh lactic notes here.
I'm not always renowned for being tactful, but it doesn't really deliver anything for me at all.
It's just very curdy.
It's everyone on these judging events always tries to be tactful and diplomatic, but it just doesn't really deliver anything other than a very slight saltiness. I'm not left with any particular cheese flavour. So
It's definitely subtle.
that's far more tactful, hero.
Is this why we've been put together?
So it's a perfectly acceptable, pleasant cheese. Just for me, it's a little lackluster.
Yeah, it's definitely not delivering as much as the other. I'm just going to try a little bit by the rind just to see if there's more going on. It definitely adds something. You can taste that sort of slightly kind of mustiness, I guess. I'm thinking overall for flavor, I suspect slightly more generous than you in saying a 6.
Yeah, and I'm being honest, I'm a 4.
Okay,
I
maybe we
wouldn't
should
know.
say a
I
5.
wouldn't really know what type of cheese it was if I ate it completely blind.
Sure.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, because it does look.
Everything else, it's a very, very well made cheese.
Okay,
So
are we
what
saying
would you
happy with a 5?
happy with
Go on, we'll
5?
settle with a 5.
All right.
Sold.
So that brings us to the end of this class, and the winner for this round would be B21103, and that's the winner for this class. And before winding off, I would really like to thank the judges for their time and all their hard work. Thank you, judges. Your presence is extremely appreciated. I know it's very hard to get hold of you who is extremely busy in this industry. Also would like to thank our sponsor, Butler's Farmhouse Cheeses. And also I would like to inform about the live event on the 17th of May, where we'll be giving out cheese judging for best classes in different categories. That's best English, best Irish, Welsh, and Scottish cheeses. Also acknowledging different talents is by giving them awards. Also, it's the day where we'll be crowning our supreme champion for the 2023 year. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching.